Hi everybody, it's Christmas Eve. You might be watching this Christmas Day. The final part of our 4-part Advent series on 4 ways we might miss Christmas. And this last part 4, the final one, part 4, the reason we might miss Christmas because we're worshipping something else. In the nativity story, we read 2 fascinating little insights into people who encounter Jesus. In Luke's Gospel, we read of the shepherds. When they have had this encounter with the angels, they go and visit the baby Jesus. And it says they returned glorifying and praising God for all the things they had heard and seen. They returned glorifying and praising God for everything that they had seen. And in Matthew's Gospel, we read about the wise men following the star, coming to the house. They see the child with his mother Mary, and we read they bowed down and worshipped him. They opened their treasures and presented him with gifts. And when we assume, when we're talking about the sin of idolatry, sometimes we can assume that idol worship is something that's died out thousands of years ago, or at least can only be found today in primitive tribes in the jungle. But if you stop to think about it, idol worship, idolatry, it's alive and well and flourishing in contemporary society. For example, some might say that materialism is one of the most deadly idols the world has ever seen. Some chase success or money, fame, power as an idol to be worshipped. Let's go back to that very first nativity. While the shepherds were truly in awe and gave praise and glory for what they'd seen, the citizens of Jerusalem were caught up in religious rituals. Whilst the 3 wise men, we think there are 3 of them anyway because they brought 3 gifts, whilst the wise men were offering their worship and their gifts, Romans were worshipping their own gods and their own idols. But each Christmas offers you and me the opportunity again to receive that wonderful gift of the incarnated Jesus Christ, to remember that he's intervened once and for all to redeem humanity and save it from its sin. But even in these COVID-related times, Christmas can be overwhelmed by commercialism. And for even the most devout Christian leader, sometimes it's hard not to get caught up in the popular celebration and worship of Christmas without reflecting that Jesus is at the centre. That just doesn't mean that you and I shouldn't enjoy ourselves at Christmas or celebrate. Far from it. Christmas is a time for joy and for celebration. And even today, at a distance, I've been able to see some family and friends as we've delivered presents or people have delivered gifts to us. But don't get so caught up in some of the trappings of Christmas that you can easily get into a place where you idolise Christmas, but you don't worship Jesus. Gifts, foods, parties, seeking pleasure for pleasure's sake can all derail us from the deep, deep joy that only comes at Christmas, when we receive the greatest gift of all, the love of God through his precious Son Jesus. Hope you receive some great gifts, some lovely presents this Christmas. The greatest gift you can give Jesus is your worship and your praise and your adoration. Don't miss out on worshipping Jesus this Christmas. God bless you and speak to you soon. Have a fantastic, blessed, peaceful and joyful Christmas time. Amen.